Hi everyone, happy Monday. I am here with a very impromptu live session today because I want to, I'm doing this in my car because as it is impromptu here, it was impromptu for the rest of my family too, who are like running around the house, living their best lives, being extremely crazy and just doing in-house projects. So I thought that I would just get in my car, come to the park, and do this here so that we have quiet and so that I can focus. Hey Ricky, hey Jennifer. So, okay. All of the things today, which is why we are here. So I'm not going to be doing a Facebook Live on Wednesday, but today I just felt guided, and that is the entire energy of right now, is to just be in flow, to not overextend, to find that stillness, find that peace within. So, hey Maria, so to be honest, I woke up this morning and my whole routine just shifted. I was like, you know what? Instead of the gym, I want to do hot yoga. Instead of like meditating the way that I normally do, I want to do a guided meditation. Then I want to do it with a group. And so it's just like been a series of things this morning of, we're not doing our regular Monday. I had plans to sit down and write a bunch of emails and maybe a few blog posts. And I'm like, nah, that's just not my vibe today. At least not right this second. I also have 2 clients tomorrow and I'm like, you guys want to do it today? Because I'm just feeling so, ooh, my phone might fall. I'm just feeling so aligned today. Does that make sense? Is anybody else feeling that way? Like, I just feel this rush of spirit just running through me. And part of that was inspired, by the solstice, right? So that's kind of what I want to start with today, is talking about the solstice, talking about how I started my day and why I believe that I've been led up until this point today. Hi, Juliana. And then the other part that I want to go into is maybe like a quick guided meditation, some question and answer if we have time for it. So I was laying in bed last night and my editor texts me and she's like, hey, I've heard a lot of stuff about like this solstice is supposed to be this huge and massive shift tomorrow. Like, do you know what that's about? And I was like, yeah, you know, so you guys, I'm not like an astrologer. I have astrologer friends and, you know, people who really, really are good at articulating that type of terminology. My vibe is always, I give it to you in the way that I receive it. Hey, Julie, I give it to you guys in the way that I receive it from spirit, from my higher self. So last week, I was meditating on the eclipse and everything, you know, I was just meditating. I was just letting it flow. And I asked Spirit, what do I need to know? Like, what's coming up for me? I feel a lot of things within me and I feel a lot of shifts happening and I feel a letting go of sorts. And I know we're moving into the new year, but like, what is happening? What does this mean for me? And Spirit was basically like, you're meant to be still right now. You're meant to follow where you're led. You're meant to truly sit in gratitude above all else. And I got some stuff about the solstice and I got some stuff about and I don't know if there's any, you know, planetary significance to this, but a couple of days after Christmas, like something about the 26th, 27th is what I keep getting. And so there's just a lot of stillness. There's a lot of listening to your inner being. There's a lot of purging and there's a lot of oneness. Okay. So when my editor reached out to me about that last night, I was like, yeah, here's what I got. Then, as Spirit would have it, in a group text, my friend who is an astrologist texts us all and she's like, hey guys, here's the meaning of the solstice. Send us all this stuff. So then I copy and pasted that to her. And then I was like, okay, you know what I'm just going to do in the morning is wake up and just ask to be fully charged with light. Like, I always in the morning try to say 3 things that I'm grateful for, and I always try to set an intention for my day before my feet ever hit the floor, right? But today I woke up and I said, my intention for the day is to fully embody light. Please charge my body with light. Please let me exude light to whoever I am near. Please let me be in full and complete gratitude for every little thing in my life today. And please let me be led. And you guys, I have. Like after I went to hot yoga, I was like drying off in the shower and I was like, man, I'm so grateful for this towel. This towel smells really, really good. Like what a beautiful thing towels are. Like I just went down this rabbit hole of gratitude for towels and lights and electricity and all of the things we have in our lives day to day that we kind of just don't even think about. And like what a gift that is, you know, like what a gift it is to be able to flick on the lights, what a gift it is to be able to go to hot yoga if I want to, in times where a lot of people can't even leave the house because they're back on lockdown. Like I know what a privilege that is, and I'm not taking any of that for granted at this point. And so, you know, when I got on this morning and I was like, hey, does anybody want to do a Facebook Live? I really didn't have a plan. I had no plan. I just knew that I wanted to get on and share a few things with you guys. But now I am truly led to talk about, oh, thank you, Facebook. Facebook is letting me know that I'm on live. And now I want to really talk about this solstice, this shift that we're in that you've heard me talk about all year. I think we all know that we're going through this massive shift. I think we've all seen that 2020 has taught us to be grateful for what we have, has taught us not to take things for granted. Hi, Joanna. It has taught us to slow down. It has taught us to be more present. It has taught us that pushing against the grain really isn't going to do anything. So we might as well ride the wave. If you guys saw that I shared 2020's reading from back in January, so I did the reading at the end of December 2019 or like right in the beginning of January, all of this stuff came up. And a lot of the stuff that was coming up was like, hey, you better learn to adjust your vibration. You better learn to acclimate to your surroundings. You better learn to be, what's my word right now, more adaptable. Okay, because things are going to be changing and things are going to be shifting, and that includes us, not just our external environment. Our external environment is what is helping us to do the internal work. Does that make sense? So all of this stuff around us that's happening, that's forcing us to stay in place, that's forcing us, you know, to feel a lot of pain, like if there's a lot coming up, whether it's loss, like whether we're grieving, you know, loss of a loved one or loss of a job or loss of a relationship or all of the different things that have come up during 2020, it's forcing us to be still and to look internally and to do our shadow work and to accept ourselves on all of the different levels, not just the levels that look pretty to the outside world, or not just the levels that we've always been able to accept about ourselves. We're meant to go deeper right now. We're meant to look at those shitty, scary parts of ourselves and be like, that's okay. You're a human. How can you let this empower you? How can you work through this? How can you let this help you heal your past to push you and catapult you into your future, right? So this whole vibe this year has been about stillness. It's been about reflection. It's been about healing. It's been about letting go. It's been about moving forward through adapting to the energies that are changing all around us. Okay. So all of that said, that's for me. That's not about my notes for today. All of that said, let's talk a little bit about this solstice, what it means for you, what it means for all of us, for our world. Y'all, people are probably going to think I'm crazy sitting in my car talking to myself, but that's okay because I accept that, right? So, we're all feeling this massive shift happening. And if you've been doing this work for a while, or if you've followed me or other people for a while, then you know that this shift has gradually been happening over the last decade. I would say even the last like 20 years, but really the last decade. And so it's been getting a little bit more intense and a little bit more intense and a little bit more intense each year. And this year, I feel like Spirit was just like, whoop, let's just take the rug right out from underneath all of you, because it's time. Like we're not tiptoeing around this anymore. It's time. You're going to feel great changes. It's time to do the work. So right now, and you may have been feeling it the past couple of days, because with any moon, with any eclipse, with any solstice, there's always that residual energy, right? As we enter that time period and as we leave that time period. So you may have been feeling like some kind of chaotic energy releasing or frantic energy releasing as this shift really kind of, I don't want to say it's coming to a head, but it's definitely, it's almost like we were here and now we're up here. And this is happening within like, you know, a series of days. I would say like within 72, my phone thought I was talking to it. So we were here and now we're here. And so we may be feeling this kind of chaotic, frantic, busy energy on top of the holiday busy energy, right? And that's a whole nother thing. We're not even going to get into that today. We'll be here all day. So when we look at this crazy, chaotic energy, you can look at it as a releasing. So instead of like working against it, instead of feeling pushed or frazzled, just kind of lean into it and observe, because that is the whole lesson for the year. That's the whole lesson, is to sit and observe and witness before jumping into action. So if you're in the midst of rushing around, it's going to be very hard to get clear on what your next step should be, on what your next inspired action should be, right? So there's always this phrase that Spirit has given me since I started doing this work, because I'm not someone that has a lot of patience. It's like my lesson in this life is patience. And one of the messages that I used to get from Spirit was, as you rush, you have less time. As you rush, you have less time. And I just want you guys to think about that for a second, because as we rush, there's a man walking past just staring at me right now. As you rush, what happens? You make mistakes. You stub your toe. You run into the walls. Your belt loop gets hooked on the door. Like whatever it is, as you rush, there are things that will try to slow you down. And so we need to remember that as we're going about these next couple of days, to just observe ourselves, to just be with ourselves, to breathe, to be in stillness, because even as that crazy chaotic energy is building up and building up and building up and releasing, take deep breaths with it. Take deep breaths with it. Give yourself a moment to pause and close your eyes, sit in the car, go in the garage, like whatever you need to do. Just take a minute and recognize it, sit with it, be with it, and then understand that this is a releasing. This is happening for you. This is happening as a way for you to acclimate to the higher frequencies, the higher elevation of consciousness that we are all collectively entering. And that's what this solstice is about. So not only do we have this solstice, but we also have, you know, this great conjunction, which I'm going to talk about in a second too. So some of these terms, while I understand them, I'm trying to bring them back down, like to earth. That's my whole vibe, right? Taking the woo-woo back down to earth. So we are moving, we are ascending collectively, whether we like it or not. Our whole world is shifting, and we're shifting big time, and today and over the next couple of days. So if we could just sit, be still, acknowledge ourselves, and be easy with ourselves and say, okay, I understand, like I'm just shifting, my whole body's shifting, my body's got to acclimate to these new energies, my spirit, everything's got to acclimate to these new energies. Maybe we won't be so hard on ourselves, right? So, and it's also going to help us, because anytime you're in the ocean and you're trying to fight against a wave, what happens? You don't get very far. So anytime you just release, sit back and flow, you're going to naturally be brought to shore. Okay, so 12/20 or 12/21/20, the solstice. So this is a time when I was in meditation. So I've listened to a couple of people speak about it that are more in tune with, you know, astrology and things like that. I sat with it with my guides, and I said, I want a clear understanding from your perspective, a clear understanding, hi Susan, of a way that I can understand it and have it be relatable to other people so that I can help them understand. And so I was sitting here in meditation, and I just saw this big like cracking open of my chest, and it's funny because I saw like the color blue, which is not really related to any of these areas, but I saw the color blue and it looked much like these two stones. Lapis lazuli. I used to not even be able to work with these stones because I would lose them all the time, and now they find me. So these were the ones I was guided to today. And I was sitting here, I saw just like this opening and just like this full on cracking open of the spirit, the body, just your whole energy. And it's for our own divine spiritual connection. So that's what a solstice is for anyways. It's supposed to be a time where the light within your body, the light available to you, the connections available to you are much easier for you to receive. But this solstice is even greater than that because there's just a lot more happening. There's a lot more energetically that we are meant to be shifting into. And so right now, when Spirit gave me that image of me just like folding open, it was really to tell me this is our time to connect. This is our time to really, really allow in the beautiful, high vibrational, divine guidance that is available to us right now. Look, here I go. I'm already receiving. You can feel like a shift in my energy. So we're meant to be allowing in this guidance right now. We're meant to be sitting so that we can receive. So, okay, I'm sorry. I'm feeling guided that maybe I had it a little bit wrong earlier. We're not necessarily meant to be sitting so that we can let go or talk ourselves through it, though we can do that. We're meant to be sitting so that we can receive the love, so that we can receive the calm, so that we can receive those blissful feelings, energetic upgrades, and inspired actions. As we sit, we do receive. As we sit, we do elevate. As we sit, we do acclimate our energies to the changing frequencies that are going to happen over the next couple of days. So that is what that image of cracking open was. That is what this time is for. It's for us to adapt. It's for us to receive and establish a greater connection with our entire spirit team. Okay? So you're going to be pushed to ascend. And the way that you can do this in a more natural and relaxed way, the way that you can do this in a way that's going to, like, I know a lot of people need a step-by-step, right? So I have a lot of clients that are like, all right, Ashley, I can do all the things you want me to do. I can connect with spirit, but I can relax, I can meditate, but I don't know how. So I need that step-by-step. So if you want to start flowing, then what they just said, start noticing, start sitting, start observing, start just breathing. And when I say breathe, I don't mean just like, okay, I'm breathing. I mean full belly. Feel your body expand as if it were 360 degrees and feel it contract, and feel it expand 360 degrees and feel it contract, okay? Observing yourself. And one way that I teach people to observe themselves is to take a few deep breaths and just say hi to yourself. Say hi to yourself as if you're standing back here watching yourself in action, okay? There's nothing that you need to do. There's nothing, it shouldn't be hard. It's just a, hello, Ashley. And then a seeing what you're doing. Watching yourself from either back here or from up here and saying, how much rushing is she in? How much is she pushing against the grain? Is she flowing? So it's just observing, it's just watching. And then the part of your assistance is, as you start observing, you'll notice the things that you're doing that are not serving you, and you won't even have to correct them or change course. You just naturally will, because now you're in connection with your higher self. Now you're in connection with that higher divine guidance. And so when you feel that discomfort between what the physical body's doing and what the spirit needs you to do, you'll pivot. Okay, so breathing, and listening to your body is a really, really important one as well, because I have noticed recently over the past 6 months, but over the past, like throughout December, even more, that my body, my clients' bodies have really been trying to speak to them. Hey, Rose. They've really been trying to speak to them. And maybe your typical workouts aren't what you need right now. Maybe your typical meditations, your typical food, your typical diet, the amount of alcohol you consume, whatever it is, maybe those aren't fit for you right now as your body is trying to adjust and acclimate to these higher energies. So you may feel that, you know, like I said this morning, like I usually don't go to hot yoga. I usually have a very strict morning routine, and I was guided away from all of that today. And I am so glad that I listened, because I feel so much better. My whole body, you guys, like I said at the beginning of this session, is just vibrating really high. I feel spirit energy. I feel light just pulsing through me all which ways. Okay. So now that we know like a little bit, so the solstice is meant to connect you with higher light. It's meant to put you in that higher vibration. This one specifically is meant to help us to acclimate and adjust to the higher frequencies that we are moving into very quickly. Our job is to observe. Our job is to find stillness, and I'm going to jump ahead of myself a little bit, but it's also about oneness. This solstice, this great conjunction is about oneness. So what is this great conjunction, right? So a lot of people, you might see it everywhere and you're like, what is it? What does it mean spiritually? What does it mean physically? So what it means is that Jupiter and Saturn are aligning. And I think I've seen two different things. I've seen it's the first time in 800 years. I've also heard that this shift is the first time in like 2000 years. So I am being 100% honest. I'm not sure which one is accurate. Maybe they're both accurate in their own ways. I've gone to multiple sites. I've gone to multiple people that I trust, and I've seen both in both spaces. Okay. But so Saturn is connected to time. Saturn is like father time, karma, order, alignment. And then you have Saturn, who is lining up with Jupiter, who is life, expansion, and energy. So it's only like, though I don't do astrology, it makes complete sense to me that if you have time, order, and karma lining up with life and expansion, then all of the stuff from your past that you are meant to heal, that has been trying to come out all year, is finally making its way to the surface. This is a time for you to, hold on, I feel like I'm getting something. This is a time for you to purge, a time for you to release everything that's not serving you. It's a time for you to be gentle with yourself and not make waves as you expand, as you move, as you access the new layers of consciousness, the new higher frequencies that are available to you. It's all coming in now. And so this is just our way of helping you shift, helping you move into those new frequencies by having you look at old relationships, old patterns, old unnecessary doings to yourself, doings to your relationship, doings to your environment. It's a chance for you to jump up, a chance for you to ascend. Now, this may feel like a new awakening to you. This may feel like another shift, another awakening within your own body, within your own life. And so you may see and feel things in your immediate life you feel are crumbling or disintegrating or completely shifting, meaning homes, jobs, careers, things of that nature. Now, they may not crumble, but they may shift in a massive way. But understand all of these things are happening in service for you. They're not happening to you. So understand that these things that are shifting and changing your relationships, you're all going to go through a massive awakening right now as we shift into this new earth, into this new world, into this new vibration. So just allow it to happen and roll with the tide, as they say. We come to you with love. We come to you with utter peace and understanding, and we are just here to help guide you. We are just here to help shift you. So you can look at it as holding on for the ride, or you can looking at it as being guided to shore. However you look at it, we want you to observe without judgment. We want you to observe without expectation of all that is being given to you of all that is happening in your life. So take this time to be non-judgmental of yourself and embark on a new and deeper and loving relationship with yourself, because as you move into these new patterns, as you move into these new frequencies, these new states of consciousness, what is going to happen is your relationship with yourself is going to drum up a greater love, a greater higher vibration, a higher vibration of consciousness, of love, of unity, and this is going to expand into greater mankind, because the entire journey, the entire year was meant to service all of mankind, though it does not appear that way. So it will be up to you and your fellow humans, your fellow partners, to use this time for unity, but remember that you have free will. Okay, you guys, like, I was not expecting that. I don't know if anybody else is expecting that. Give me 1 second. I usually don't channel on here, not like that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch that, because when I channel, I kind of like step out of body. Okay, that was interesting. So what I got from that was that, and that's very interesting, because I drink yogi tea in the morning, and they all have these little sayings on them. And I got a new one this morning that was like a pleasant blessing from a mischievous character. Like, don't dismiss a pleasant blessing from a mischievous character, or something like that. And I was just like, whoa, that's weird. And then the message that I just got, like, kind of reaffirmed that. So it makes me wonder, like, what's going on. But a lot of the messages, a lot of the messages that just came through made me feel like things are going to be shifting in our lives, and they may look a lot different. And I felt like Spirit was giving it to me on a collective level, but helping me to relay it on an individual level, that we may all be like going through another awakening. So I went through, you know, like my massive awakening when I started doing this, where it felt like I was just like peeling off the layers of the onions, and I lost a lot of friends and I couldn't understand what was going on, but it made space for new friends, and my job just kept getting harder and harder, and it was making space for this, and I had no idea. So understand that you may start going through something where you are feeling really spiritually pulled, but noticing everything around you, like it feels like it doesn't fit anymore, and don't judge any of that. Okay, so the other part of it that I got was, we're meant to be developing our relationships with ourselves on a deeper level, so that we can shift into helping all of human consciousness heal, the whole world heal. And I know that seems like such a big job, like how am I supposed to do that? But really, your energy, your love for yourself, your love for your fellow human, and just sending out that kindness, like seeing someone and just sending them love, whether you know them or not, that is what raises the vibration of the planet. That's what makes all of this easier for all of us. And so what I've gotten from Spirit is that as we choose to love ourselves more, and we choose to work alongside our fellow humans, we can help the planet to heal. But we do still have free will. So ultimately, it's up to each one of us individually. Okay, I think that is all I have. Other than I think we can all kind of see and feel this shift that's happening right now. I'm still a little like buzzing really high off of that. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns, or anything like that right now? Okay, so I don't really feel, let me see. I'm going to see if I can take us into a quick meditation. Let's see. So if everybody could just close their eyes, relax their shoulders, take a deep breath. I want to call in our angels, our guides, our loved ones, our higher selves. And I ask that they all band together. So every person on this call, every person that's going to watch it later, every person that it will reach through the messages that are delivered by someone who is on this call, I ask that all of our guides, our angels, the archangels and ascended masters hold hands to create a higher level of divine love, divine consciousness, to make us available for receiving, to make us available to see and feel and experience the love that the divine has for us. Help us to see and feel and extend the love to our neighbors, our planet, everyone around us, including ourselves. Help us to be patient with ourselves and patient with others as we are all moving down this path together, but in different phases. And we just take a deep breath. And as we do, I just see the energy from all of those hands that have been united. All of this energy moving up and up and up and up and up above our world, blanketing our world in divine love. To know that we are all safe, to know that we are all embarking on a new and exciting mission and going through this together and rising up together and ascending together. And may we know that this is the perfect time to tap into our guides, into the guidance within us and that is available to us and for us, so that we may be divinely led along our path, so that we may see ourselves in a new light, be filled with light, and extend that light. And I ask this for all of humanity. And so it is. Okay, you guys. So I'm just so grateful for everyone that was on this call today. It was impromptu and we still had like 12, 13 people. So that's pretty good. Usually we have like 20 something when I send out the email, and I didn't send out an email. I didn't do anything besides post it on Facebook. So I'm super grateful for all of you. Let's see. Joanna has a question. I have been doing a lot of energy work as I feel I have a blockage stepping in front of me, spiritually developing further at the moment. So thank you for sharing that. So I think a lot of people have kind of been feeling that, like, what is the blockage? What am I missing? And really, that's a really good question to ask to your journal too. Like, what am I missing? What am I not seeing? And how can I go to my next level? How can I be guided to my next level? And so I don't know if you saw this, but I don't know how long you've been with us, Joanna, but a couple of months ago, I did the intuitive boot camp. And then I did the collective growth experience. And so they were both a series of group coaching calls and we went through all of these like very deep lessons, all of these, how to tap into your spirit team for the intuitive boot camp, how to tap into your spirit team, who's on your spirit team, how do you know which one of them is which? So how do you know the difference between a spirit guide and an angel? How do they connect with you? How do you remove these blockages to connect with them? Like all of that is in, and there's a little bit about manifesting. All of that's in the intuitive boot camp. And then I did the collective growth experience, which felt like actually a lot of what came up today, I feel like we expanded on in there about, how to connect with oneness, how to deepen your relationship with yourself, how to just elevate, how to up level, how to be your best you. And so between the two of them, I think there's like 15 hours of content. It's pretty crazy. 15 hours of content and then notes and presentations and everything. And I actually just made that part of my holiday, or I made it my holiday bundle. It's on the website. I can't link it right now, but I can come back and link it later if you can't find it. But it's the Better Yourself bundle. So I took all of those, I put them into a course and I made them available for you guys to watch. But I think it will really help you if you've already taken the intuitive development course, which is on sale. I'm having a big sale right now, you guys. I should have probably said that in the beginning, but I'm having a really big sale right now. Coaching is 15% off, and this is through the 26th. Coaching is 15% off. Courses are 30% off. And then I have this bundle that I'm taking off of the website after the 26th. Like, it wasn't available before, and I'm not going to have it available after. It was like an exclusive thing for people that joined, but So if you haven't done either one of those, then I think those could absolutely help you bust through those blocks, because there's just a lot of stuff in there that's not on the website and that you can't really find anywhere else, because it's stuff that's been given to me by my guides, and it's stuff that's been given to me by other people's guides as I've done the work throughout the years. So the Better Yourself bundle for anybody else, or anyone that's just joined, the Better Yourself bundle includes the Intuitive Boot Camp, which people loved. I had so many people on that. Like, I was blown away that I had so many people sign up for that. So the Intuitive Boot Camp, which if anybody's on here that took that, could you please give your feedback, because I know everyone, and I don't know who was actually on here that took it, but I know everyone that took it was like, oh my God, love this, best thing I've ever taken, I want more. And then I did a different group coaching, and then I did the collective growth experience. So the collective growth experience and the intuitive bundle, or the intuitive boot camp, are in the Better Yourself bundle, because I think it would be a great way to like catapult into the new year. And then, like I said, you guys, I'm also having a massive sale on the website, 30% off of courses and 15% off of coaching, which is a really big deal because, like I said, in the new year, I'm getting rid of the coaching packages that I have right now, and they're only going to be 3, 6, and 12-month packages available. But right now you can get 4 or 8 or 6 or 12, the 6-month or the 12-month at the price that they are now, plus the 15% discount. So I should have told you guys about that earlier. Okay, I'm going to go back and read some comments. So Joanna, I hope that those help you. So those journaling prompts that I gave you, and then looking at those bundles and courses, I think those, I know those will help you for sure. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Ricky. I'm super grateful for you too. And I'm super grateful for this community too. Like, it's so funny to me how 2020 really has pushed us past a lot of our self-limiting beliefs, I guess. I don't know what the word is that I'm searching for. But like, I wouldn't do videos. I didn't want to do videos, not public videos. All of my courses are videos. All of my courses are videos except for, I think, the spirit, like the tiny, like workshops that I have from like 2016, but everything I do is video. But I didn't want to be seen publicly on video. And actually COVID is what pushed me to do that, because I was like, I have to show up for people, and I had so much resistance, and I was so nervous, and I felt like I fumbled so much. And now I'm just like, hey guys, want to do an impromptu live on a Monday? And it's because I love this community, and because I'm so grateful to feel your energy and to connect, and I guess to channel when I did know that I was going to be channeling. So I'm super grateful for all of you guys too. Thank you. Susan said, thank you, Ashley. I had an early AM foot surgery this morning. Here's to healing and a new one. Glad I caught your live. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you caught it too. And thank you for joining me after a foot surgery. I'm sending you all the good love, all the good vibes, and all the healing vibes. And if everybody else on the call could just send her, you know what, her and everybody else on the call, let's just send everybody just some extra love to get through the solstice and through the new year and everything. Joanna said there are orbs flying around you. Aw, that's awesome. You know, you're not the only one to tell me that. So it's funny, Joanna, because when I do these lives, I've had other people that are like, oh, I can see spirit guides behind you, or I see blue, I think they said like blue orbs behind you. And it's funny because I know they're here because that information is coming from somewhere, right? But I'm just so focused, like I guess I don't notice, I don't see it. I'm just receiving it, I guess. Hey, Lori. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Cynthia. So I want to thank all of you guys for being here. And again, I just want to run through because there's some of you that I don't know that I've seen on here before. So I want to tell you guys about a couple of things that I have to offer. So like I said, all coaching bundles and courses are 15 to 30% off. And then I have that holiday exclusive, which is my Intuitive Bootcamp and the Collective Evolution. But for those of you that have just joined me or maybe just found me or will see this later, I have a couple of really good courses. So I have the Intuitive Development and Progression Program, which you've heard me talk about a million times. This is for foundational through advanced intuitives. There have been mediums that I work with. Oh, hi, Superior. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. So there have been other mediums, other practicing intuitives that I work with that have taken this course because they didn't know some of the like in-depth and easy ways actually that we can connect. Some people don't even know the difference, and I don't mean like, there are some people who practice who don't know how to differentiate between their clairsentience and their claircognizance and how to grow one and how to manage them. There are a lot of people that their intuitive gifts are completely overwhelming for them. Their empathic abilities are completely overwhelming to them. They can't sleep because they're always like seeing faces or seeing colors, or they feel like energy around them at night. They hear things that creep them out. Like there's so many things. Or their intuition has called anxiety, or they just are excited to get moving along their spiritual path because they've known for a long time that there is more truth out there than is available to us, but how do I put my finger on it? How do I access it? And so that's what the Intuitive Development Program is. It's a series of over 30 videos. They go in depth about managing your intuition, expanding your intuition, protecting your energy, coming out of the psychic closet, how to deal with being empathic, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, all the clairs, grounding, expanding, meditations, like they're everything that you need. Any question that you would ask me, I promise is answered in that course. How to connect with your spirit guides, how to do automatic writing, like it's all in there. It's got everything that you need because I've been adding to it every year for 6 years. And every time I add to it, you get those additions too. So say that you buy it today and I add 3 new videos next month, you get those new videos too. So there's that one. That's the Intuitive Development and Progression Program that has by far been my most popular program, that has by far changed the most lives. Like even people that are not trying to be psychic or trying to be mediums, it helps you throughout every day, because that's one video that I just added too, is how to know when it's inspired action, how to know when you're being guided, how to know if it's the right thing for you to do, and how to know when ego is talking versus when your higher self is talking, how to tell the difference between your spirit guide, your ego, and your higher self. Like all of that is in there. So that is my number one. Like if you're going to do coaching with me, if you're going to do anything with me, I always recommend starting there. You don't have to, but I recommend it because it answers so much. The next step would be mediumship diving deeper. So mediumship diving deeper is, Susan, you should totally take it. I have a payment plan on it now too, which I have never had before. So I have a payment plan on it now too, and it's on sale. So that's the Intuitive Development Program. The next step after that is usually the Mediumship Diving Deeper program, which is also on sale. The Mediumship Diving Deeper is for people who basically have already taken the Intuitive Development course or have been practicing for a while and have a good handle on their intuition. They are the ones that want to take the mediumship diving deeper because it's like your next step. And so in there, it's how do I get specific spirit messages? How do I get those very clear, very evidential messages for me or for my client? How do I really discern between which spirit is which? What else is in there? How to cross a spirit over is in there. There's all kinds of things and there's a little bit about building your own mediumship practice in there if that speaks to you. There's how to give a group reading, how to open up a session to receive divine guidance for yourself or for another, how to close a session, because I've found throughout my work that a lot of people can receive, but they don't know how to close. They don't even know that they're supposed to close it down. I didn't know that I was supposed to close it down. So if you're doing a reading and you are you get off that call and you don't disconnect from that person and say your thank yous and all of that, you're going to be picking up their stuff over the rest of the day or the next day. And that can be like extremely confusing for your energy when your mood's all over the place, and then a little bit draining as well. So all of that, step by step, giving a reading beginning to end, getting those evidential and specific messages, that's in the mediumship Diving Deeper. The other course that I have that I love and I'm really excited about excuse me, is Mission Manifest. I opened that for a while. I closed it for a while. I've opened it again. And Mission Manifest is all of their videos that you cannot find on my site anywhere else, unless I've included them in a bonus somewhere, but I don't think that I have. Mission Manifest is all about how to actually manifest and how to get into the feeling of receiving and how to receive. Like, there's some really good stuff in there, you guys. I'm not like, I guess I am tooting my horn because there's a lot of really good stuff in there that is not on the blog that I have not seen anybody else teach on, except maybe my coach that I pay like thousands and thousands of dollars for, because she's like crazy. She's real expensive, but she's really good and she's worth it. But there's some stuff that I was teaching and then I saw in her programs. I was like, oh my God, I'm already teaching this. So like, this is really, really good stuff. So that is Mission Manifest. And what else do I got? I have a couple of mini courses that are kind of like a taste of the bigger courses. And you guys, these courses are going to help you. Like, they're not, like I said, they're not just for being a medium. They're for navigating your life, navigating this new energy that we have entered, because it's time. Like, it's time to do the work. The reason I started doing this work in the first place was because I couldn't live how I was living anymore. I couldn't keep hitting wall after wall after wall. I knew that there was the opportunity to love my life, but I didn't know how to get there. I was a pretty negative Nancy. I was, I was a typical 21-year-old girl. I was just talking and gossiping. I was insecure with myself. I was getting random bills in the mail. Like, it just wasn't, I couldn't do it anymore. And I kept getting pushed from like my guides. I was getting pushed from the universe and I didn't know what that meant yet. I was getting dreams of my friends that had passed. Like, everything was adding up for me. It was just finally literally deciding that I wanted to change, literally deciding that I wanted to step into my spiritual practice and be guided, though I had no clue what that meant or how to do it at the time. That changed everything for me. So a lot of times, just that decision and investing in yourself, whether it's investing in a course or investing mentally in, I'm going to show up for meditation every day. I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to, find the end of the internet. Like, that was me. I had coaches, mentors, and I had decided I was going to find the end of the internet when it came to spirituality. And I just dug in. And part of the reason that I believe that courses and coaching work so well is because, and I think any other coach will tell you the same thing, is when we're trying to do it ourselves, we're sifting through a lot of weeds. We're sifting through a lot of information that we don't need, that isn't going to serve us, and we end up really, really overwhelmed. We end up overwhelmed because we're trying to do too much. We're taking on too much at once. And so for me, it was like, I'd go to this site and I'd gain a little bit of knowledge, and I'd go to this site and I'd go to gain a little bit of knowledge. And I kept doing that over and over and over again for months. And then what I realized, and my guide said this to me when I finally learned to connect, when I finally learned what a spirit guide was, and I finally learned to connect with them, clear as day. You're gaining a lot of knowledge. You're not gaining any practical application. So I was getting all of this knowledge and I was like, why am I not getting anywhere? I was reading all these blogs. I was watching all these videos, going to all these sites. And yeah, I had a crap ton. I don't know who has kids in their rooms. I had a lot of knowledge, but none of it meant anything because I wasn't feeling much differently. Nothing in my life was changing that quickly. Like, there are a few little magic moments, but I knew that I was supposed to be leveling up. It was almost like I could feel it. Like it was on the other side of a wall or something. I was meant to grab it, but I couldn't. So that is why, you know, like investing in a mentor, investing in a membership, investing in a course that I did, that is what really shifted and changed for me, because I started applying the knowledge that I had. And then I realized I don't need to read 2,000 books, you know, in a month. I don't need to listen to all these podcasts all the time, because I get overwhelmed and I get burnt out really quickly. And some of them serve me. Don't get me wrong. Some of them serve me, but a lot of it just overwhelmed me, like energetically, and I felt like this is too hard. I'm not going to go anywhere. So when you have a course or a program or a coach who lays it out for you, do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, you can practically apply all of that knowledge, and you can start to break through those levels and see massive changes in your life, just in your quality of life and your happiness level and your level of joy. And like I said, you guys, I woke up this morning and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do all the things that I normally do that feed and serve my day. Today, I'm just going to choose to be guided. And look where I am. Like, this has been a great call. I've loved it. So does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions? Thank you, Karina. Superior Palmer says, are DNA activations needed when developing intuitive abilities? That's a very interesting question. If you're still on Superior, I honestly believe, so I know there's a lot of people who do DNA activations, and there's a lot of meditations for them, and I do those meditations myself. But I believe that your DNA, okay, let me step back, because I was just shown something very clear. So I remember one time when I was like doing a lot of work, I kept getting this visual, and I can explain it to you. It's not going to make any sense to you, but I see it very clearly right now. I kept getting this visual of a golden body inside of what looked like a cage of DNA. And I kept getting it over and over again every time I went into meditation. And finally I reached out to, I don't even know where I found him, but this guy that I like really, really trusted, and he seemed to know a lot. And he's like, well, that strand represents your DNA. And he kind of drew it, and he's like, does it look something like this? And I'm like, yes, that's what I keep seeing. Like, I just got really bummed. And so what he was telling me was my DNA was actually acclimating to the new vibrations that I was receiving. So the way that I say it, the way that I teach people is, it's hard to connect with spirit if you are not a vibrational match, right? So we have to raise our vibration to connect with spirit. Spirit kind of has to come down and meet us in the middle. But as we do this spiritual work, as we do our meditations, as we set the intention to connect with spirit, as we show up and we choose to be light, and we choose to send love, and we choose to be, and we're not always going to be that way, but choosing to live your life in a spiritual manner, or choosing to live your life in a higher vibration, automatically upgrades your DNA. Does that make sense? So as you raise your vibration, the vibration of your DNA gets higher. And as you keep doing it, it keeps getting higher and higher and higher. So to answer your question, no, you do not need DNA activations to develop your intuition. Your DNA will automatically upgrade as you do the intuitive work. Does that make sense? The activations can certainly help speed things along. But for me, having a DNA activation has more been about a specific area of my life that I need help with. So to give you an example, over the summer, there was a lot of like, I was feeling blocked, like in my heart. I was feeling blocked with, how do I be more of service? I was feeling blocked with, I was getting angry at COVID. Like, you know, I had more anger coming up than usual. So I did DNA activations for the heart, and that really helped me to start releasing and to let go. So does that make sense? I hope that this helps you. Hi, Bash. So thank you all for being here with me. Again, just to let anybody else know that just joined, All of my courses are 30% off. Coaching is 15% off. And then I have that new, basically cover all of your bases, Better Yourself bundle. And that is the Intuitive Bootcamp and the Collective Growth Experience. It's a series of videos, live recorded coaching, over 15 hours of content, plus presentations and notes to go along with it. So you guys, I'm not going to be back on Wednesday, but I am so grateful. I'm so excited to have, there's quite a few new people on here today. So I'm grateful for you guys jumping on here with me. Good luck with this solstice. Just remember to sit and breathe and, take a few deep breaths and sit back. Observe, don't judge yourself. The whole point of this new season is the shift, however you want to look at it, is to develop a deeper relationship with yourself and then humanity. Just as mediumship is to heal yourself first, then others, should you choose to go down that path. So mediumship isn't about giving readings, or being psychic isn't about giving readings. It's about developing a relationship with yourself and your higher divine guidance system. And then if you choose to, helping others to do the same through the messages that you give. So I love you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. I hope I talked to you before New Year though. But I love you guys. Happy solstice. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.